Hey guys, welcome back to Triple Double Nation. Today we're looking at the 10 best single game individual playoff games in NBA history. Let's get right into the video. Luka Doncic's game winner versus Clippers. A game for the ages. Given the number of anecdotes from this great performance, it's arguably one of the greatest. The elite company that Doncic joined and the records he set or broke are just too many to list down. Here's a snapshot. A few points that were not mentioned above is the fact that Doncic's game winner capped off the franchise's largest comeback ever in the playoffs, not to mention the fact that he carried them in a game where the team was playing without their other young superstar in Kristaps Porzingis, while playing on a bad left ankle that he sprained only a couple of days earlier. His monster triple-double made him the 9th player to ever record consecutive triple-doubles in the playoffs. He also became only the 3rd player, even after Magic Johnson and LeBron James, to have multiple playoff triple-doubles at the age of 21 or younger. LeBron James' heroic Game 7 in 2016 Finals. Chase down blocks are synonymous with LeBron James. A swat on Andre Iguodala in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals is the most iconic one of his career. That block was a part of history. James went on to lead his team to victory in this game, making the 2015 and 16 Cleveland Cavaliers the only team in the NBA Finals history to overcome a 3-1 series deficit. That's not all. The enormity of the achievement is in the fact that they did it against a Golden State Warriors squad that had won an NBA record 73 games in the regular season and was led by the only unanimous league MVP ever in Stephen Curry. Every game that Cleveland avoided elimination, he absolutely stuffed the stat sheet. In Game 5, he finished with 41 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. He followed that up with 41 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 blocks in Game 6. Then, in the winner-take-all Game 7, he recorded a 27-11-11 triple-double, making him only the 3rd player in NBA history after Jerry West and James Worthy to record a triple-double in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He finished the championship series as the Finals MVP for the 3rd time in his career, and the only ever player to ever average a triple-double in the Finals. Comment down below if you watched this game. It was a great one. LeBron James' Game 6 versus Boston in 2012. Nearly 2 years into the Big Three era in Miami, the Heat hadn't achieved their target of a championship. Instead, after losing to the Dallas Mavericks in the 2011 Finals, they were facing elimination of the Boston Celtics in Game 6 of the conference finals. A loss here, and the mighty Heat would have nothing to show for 2 years after they had formed a team around 3 All-Stars in James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. King wasn't going to let them lose. My mentality was like, if we lose, Pat Riley may break us all up, James said years later. Taking matters into his own hands, he went off for 45 points on 19 of 26 shooting, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists, dominating the game wire to wire to force a Game 7 back in Miami. The Heat would go on to win that Game 7 and eventually the 2012 championship, LeBron's first title. It's still considered among the greatest games of James' career. LeBron takes over Game 5 versus Pistons in 2007. In just his 2nd ever trip to the postseason at the age of 22, James led the Cavaliers to the conference finals against the mighty Detroit Pistons, who were in their 5th consecutive conference finals. The series was tied at 2 games apiece. In Game 5, with 6 minutes 14 seconds left in regulation, the Cavaliers were up 79-78. That's when James took over. He scored the team's last 25 points and 29 of the last 30 points, leading them to a 109-107 double overtime victory. He would finish the game with 48 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Although it would be a few more years before James would win a championship, he showed very early on in his career that he's capable of delivering in pressure against the contenders. Cavs would go on to win Game 6 and make it to their first finals in franchise history, where they were swept by the San Antonio Spurs. AI leads 76ers to a huge upset in 2001 Finals. The only Finals performance on this list that didn't result in the championship, however, the grit and fight shown by Allen Iverson and the opponent it came up against what earns this game its spot here. Iverson, the reigning league MVP, played all but 3 seconds of this overtime game as he led the 76ers to an upset 107-101 victory over the defending champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. It would be imperative to note that the Lakers had reached the finals with a 11-0 record in that postseason, sweeping all 3 Western Conference's teams in Portland Trail Blazers, Sacramento Kings, and Antonio Spurs in their path. AI finished with 48 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, and an iconic step over. Philadelphia handed the Lakers, led the dynamic duo of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, their loss of the 2001 postseason. That's right, the Lakers would win their next 4 games and repeat as champions with a 15-1 postseason record. 1 game shy of a perfect record thanks to AI. MJ's last shot in 1998. What a way to end your career with a franchise. A game-winning jumper that gives you your 3rd straight championship and the 6th title in an 8-year span. Battling a tough and gritty Utah Jazz while his all-star teammate Scottie Pippen was dealing with a bad back to such an extent that he had difficulty running up and down the floor, Michael Jordan carried the Bulls to the 1998 championship with a masterful 45-point performance. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game, the Bulls were down 83-79, and then Jordan went on a personal 8-3 run to end the game, capped off by his iconic jumper over Brian Russell. It's a testament to his greatness that Jordan, despite all the emotional and physical grind that he had been through during the second three-peat, could still will this team to a win. MJ's flu game. Ever played through a basketball game with the flu? Well, Michael Jordan did, and he did more than just that. In Game 5 of an NBA Finals series that's all tied up, he played 44 minutes while battling flu-like symptoms and led the Bulls to a comeback victory that gave them a 3-2 series lead. He finished with 38 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. In the crucial fourth quarter, he scored 15 as the Bulls outscored the Jazz 23-16 to win the game 90-88. Just legendary stuff. Larry Bird's "It's just God disguised as Michael Jordan." "It's just God disguised as Michael Jordan," said Larry Bird after the second-year 6'6" guard dropped an NBA playoff single-game record of 63 points against the 1985 and 86 Boston Celtics. Considered among the greatest teams of all time, the Celtics did end up winning the double overtime game 135-131, but not before the 23-year-old had earned the respect of his opponents, including Bird, who was at that time the league's reigning 3-time league MVP. Magic Johnson placed center in Game 6 of the 1980 Finals. Given what was achieved, a championship, this game by Magic Johnson must be the greatest final performance by a rookie ever. With Lakers superstar Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ruled out of Game 6 of the 1980 Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers with an injured ankle, the 6'9" rookie Magic Johnson began the game at center but played every position to eventually finish the game with 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. His masterful performance led the Lakers to a 123-107 win that gave the Lakers their 7th title in franchise history. Bill Russell's 30-40. You can't discuss the greatest single-game individual player performances without mentioning the winningest player in NBA history. In Game 7 of the 1962 Finals, Bill Russell came up huge for the Celtics against the Lakers, playing every minute of his overtime game. He finished with 30 points, a finals record 40 rebounds, and 4 assists in the 110-107 win. Back in 1962, blocks weren't recorded, but it's worth imagining how many Russell could have had if he pulled down 40 rebounds. Winning this game, the Celtics clinched their 4th straight championship and the 5th in franchise history. It was the first of 6 times the Celtics and Lakers would meet in the NBA Finals during the 1960s. Boston won each time, and Russell played a huge role in each, including this one. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, rating down below, and comment which player on this list shocked you the most. See you guys next time. Have a great day.